And boy, do I have a great mantra to start for today. Now I don't know about y'all, but I woke up today, I had a ton of energy. And then I don't know what happened. It's like the energy just blew away with the autumn wind here in Vegas. So we're going to have a nice, gentle practice today. I hope that's floating your boat and I hope that's speaking to your soul. So let's get to it. Today's mantra comes from an anonymous source. And I actually want you to close your eyes for this one. Go ahead and when you're feeling settled, take in a deep breath with me. Let the breath out, just letting everything go from the day, from the week, from the season. Take another deep breath in. Feel free to look downward or just have the eyes closed. And release. And one more grounding breath in. Deep breath out. Just stay with your breath here. Today's mantra. Be okay with not knowing what will come next. Just know that whatever it is, you will be okay. Be okay with not knowing what will come next. Just know that whatever it is, you will be okay. And with that, let's just take another deep breath in, sealing in today's mantra. And a deep release. Just noticing these few deep breaths. If the mind was fluttering with thoughts, time travel, experiences, always coming back to our breath. So just noticing your breath today. And as we continue to ground, I'm going to ask you to bring your fingertips together, leaving space between the palms. You could take a peek here as I'm demoing. This is a lovely mantra that really helps us to connect the Western hemisphere, the Eastern hemisphere of the body. Really helps to focus on our respiratory system. And as we begin to cultivate the Ujjayi breath, just taking a few moments to set your intention for today's practice, a nice, gentle autumn practice. As we end September this week, a transition of seasons just coming off the new moon in Libra. And just not only feeling the connection of the left side and the right side of the body, the feminine and the masculine, just feeling the connection. The connection to right now, to right here. The connection to acceptance for what is, how you're feeling, the energy level you may have brought to your practice today. And then these last few breaths, just bringing your palms to Anjali Mudra at heart center, taking another deep breath in. Deep breath out the nose. Relax your shoulders, relax the face. And again, deep inhale. And release. Last breath here. And exhale, release the palms, blinking the eyes to open. And let's get started, my friends, on our backs, on our mats. So take your time, grab your props, hydrate on the way if you'd like. And we're just going to get started with a nice, gentle start to our practice today. So take it easy. If you're coming off an injury, or maybe you were not feeling well last week, earlier today, you've made the right decision. Just take your time to get settled on your back. And know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, right here, right now. Just you and your breath. Once you're settled, just take a moment, wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, readjust the body so that the shoulders relax away from the ears. Good. And then on your inhale, reach overhead, point your toes, just stretch your body long. As you exhale, my friends, draw that right knee into the chest. Take some time here to relax the shoulders again, and then just start to gently move the knee from shoulder to shoulder. Let the breath guide the movement of the body. We're not needing to move vigorously or quickly here, just a nice, gentle swaying motion. Breathe into your right knee, breathe into the right hip. Good. You might even draw a slight rainbow shape as you come to one side, and then just gently letting the knee drift away briefly from the shoulder, then the other side. Good. And just notice how that feels. Remember, in our practice, we become witness to the sensations, to our breath, just sitting with exactly what you're feeling in this moment. As you exhale, my friends, take it over into a nice supine twist. You could use a block underneath that inner right knee, and then reach your arm that right side away from the body. And if it feels comfortable, just anchor the right shoulder blade back onto the mat and just take some time here, really surrender. So my hands are soft, relaxed, inner thighs are releasing, hips releasing, just letting gravity do all the work as the body just takes whatever shape to soften into the twist. You'll feel a nice stretch through the heart space, through the low back, that right outer hip and glute. Wonderful. And just take another breath here. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Feel the twist deepening. And then as you come back to center, bringing that same side on the right, bring the nose to the knee, relax the shoulders down and away. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax the head, neck, shoulders back to the mat. Extend that right leg straight. So it doesn't matter to me. You could hold a foot, you could hold above or below the knee. Just take some time here as you stretch the hamstring, the Achilles, the fascia on the sole of that extended foot. Inhale, point your toes on that right leg, and exhale, flex. So you're taking turns here. Inhaling to point, exhaling to flex, and just giving your body exactly what it needs. Just a nice, encouraging, slow warm up. When you're ready, bend through the right knee, extend that leg long, and let's take over. Same idea, side two. Inhale, left knee in. Very gently taking that knee from shoulder to shoulder, side to side. In these slower classes, I really love taking the time to become witness to the breath. Notice how your natural tendencies take over. And this is a great time to redirect your attention to the breath. Anytime the mind is wandering, you might notice moving a little slower on this side. That's okay. All right, friends, when you're ready, take an inhale, bring the knee center. As you exhale, supine twist. So that left inner thigh is going to come toward your yoga mat. That left arm reaches away. And eventually that left shoulder blade is going to anchor toward or deep into your mat. There's really no right or wrong here. As you continue to cultivate your Ujjayi breath, a deeper breath, that life force will penetrate through the low back in your heart space. You'll enjoy the stretch, the twist, just letting go. Your hands are relaxed, fingers and toes soft. Letting the breath come through the edges of the body. Remember, we're not trying to go deeper in the posture here, just practicing surrender. And then on your next exhale, come back to center. As you begin your inhale, relaxing the shoulders down, nose to knee on that same side. Good. Exhale, relax the head and neck back down. Bring the right knee in to meet the left. As you keep the knees rather close, swaying side to side, think of this as a massage for the low back. Breathing into your glutes, especially those regions in this moment of the body that might be tight or ridden with tension. And just allowing yourself to soften into the breath as it travels in and out of the nose. Good. And then release those feet down to the mat. Knees stay bent. Take your feet the width of the mat. Take an inhale here. As you exhale through the nose, press those knees to the center of the mat. So knees come together, feet wide apart. You'll feel a lovely stretch through the outer hips. Now we're still warming up, so this might not come with ease, but rather effort. So this is where that yoga mindset takes over. We're not forcing the knees together. We're just breathing into that space, encouraging space. Good. Exhale, let the knees come back to relax. Toe heel the feet together at the center of the mat. Bring the heels close to the sit bones. And then with an exhale, just let the knees melt toward the earth. Now, if you have any issues with low back, sciatic, anything like that, use your blocks here underneath your outer knees for support. And then you could actually press the outer legs into that foundation provided by our blocks. If you don't have blocks, you could always use anything around the house, pillow, folded beach towel. Take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and just close the eyes, softening into surrender. So once again, letting go of all the effort. Often a challenge for most of us to completely surrender, especially at the start of our yoga practice. Some of us come with energy and we're used to putting forth lots of effort and realizing it takes just as much effort to let go, to surrender. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a deep breath out through the nose, just feeling that natural flow of in-breath and out breath. And if you're having a hard time surrendering, it's okay. Give yourself permission to explore that. And in these static postures, it gives us the presence of mind to not only let go, but just to explore what you're experiencing right here in this moment. Keeping your jaw soft, keeping your lips sealed. I want you to take your hands to the outer thighs. As you inhale, encourage those knees together. And once again, draw the knees into the chest. Inhale here. As you exhale, take the knees wide and then taking happy baby. So if it's your first time with happy baby, you'll hold the arches of the feet, inner or outer. Maybe you'll hold your ankles, even the shins. It does not matter where you connect hands to legs. What I want you to feel is a nice sensation where we're encouraging space in our low back and the hamstring attachments in the glutes. If there's any part of this posture that does not feel good for your body, do one-sided. That is fine. Sometimes listening to the body without challenging or muddling our way through is exactly what the doctor ordered. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Keep your clavicles broad. Now let's come into straddle. So you'll hold peace fingers wrapped around the big toes, or again, the inner thighs are a great place to connect hands to legs, or even inner calves. What's really important here is that you're flexing the feet. Legs are straight. Extend the heels wide. Breathe into that broadening heart space. Breathing into the groin region, inner thighs. Take another full breath here. And exhale, release the legs. Let's gently rock up to seated. I don't know about you, but I didn't feel like getting off my back, right? And like always, friends, as I say, that is okay. I'm actually just looking for my scrunchie, trying to make my hair appropriate for our yoga class. And there it is. I left it on the table. That's also fine. So see, take your time. I'm demoing that as we speak. All right, coming into Sukhasana, friends. Nice, easy pose. Is this your first time in easy pose in a while? If it is, grab a block, place it under your sit bones, placing those hips above the knees and allowing yourself to use gravity again to just press those knees down toward the earth a great way to find yourself feeling even more grounded. As you inhale, nice tall spine, draw the navel in, draw the navel up, relax your shoulders down and back. Remember that breathing we did? Taking just another moment, and I want you to join the fingers like we did at the start for this mudra. You can rest the hands on your thighs. You can even hold that connection close to your heart space. And then just breathing deep in, just connecting once again, both sides of the body. Notice again the tendency to perhaps clench at the jaw, feel tightness at the hips, and often that means the knees are reaching up toward the shoulders rather than pressing down through the earth. Take one more deep breath here. As you exhale, release the mudra, twist to the right, look over your right shoulder, just get a nice twist. And I encourage you to keep the chin away from the chest, keep the drishti straight out rather than looking downward. That tends to close off the heart and throat chakras. Keep that pulling sensation through the crown. Stay tall as you exhale. Come back to center. Good. Let's inhale. Take those arms nice and high, reaching up. As you exhale, palms to Anjali Mudra. And as you complete the exhale, let's twist to the left side. So you'll notice we can continue to open the body. We can continue to feel that sense of warming up. It's a common saying for just getting into our bodies a bit. As you exhale, come back to center. Release the hands so that they're resting on the thighs or knees. And then let's inhale into a nice cow variation. So I like to hold on to the legs, round through the heart, roll the shoulders down and back. Feel the lifting. Breathing as you lengthen the front body in cow variation. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, shoulders come down and forward. Chin to chest, feel that toning sensation in the belly. Feel that spaciousness in the cervical spine. And again, inhale, coming right into our cow shape. Full breath in, and then exhale, rounding into cat. Good. Give me one more round. Inhaling as you arch and exhaling as you round. Good. Slowly stacking one vertebra on top of the other. Re-engage the navel into the spine if you've forgotten, and then switch the cross of the legs. Just want to get into both sides today equally, pressing the knees into blocks or just toward the mat. Inhale nice and tall. Let's get into the side body. We're going to reach to the left. Inhale that right arm up, draw that beautiful rainbow shape, and then reach for the left side of your space. Palm is on the mat. Press the mat away. Press the knees down. I hope you feel that little extra space that we're creating through the right ribs. Good. Now use the right oblique. Pull the body up rather than pressing from that left palm. Inhale, tall as that right hand comes down. Left hand comes up and take it over to the other side. The same idea with the right palm. I'm not just rooting in. I'm actually pressing the mat away from me. And that's going to really allow me to get into that left side body a little deeper. We have one more round of side body. So inhale, use the left oblique to lift. As you root left hand down, press the mat away, and that right hand comes over. Reaching to the side, you'll notice tendencies. Knees want to come up, press them down. Feel the hips softening into the breath. Inhale, use the right oblique to come up, draw that beautiful rainbow. Inhale, left hand high. Exhale over as you press the mat away. I see your chin is staying away from your chest. Beautiful. Good. Now we're going to take that rainbow reach to me. So left hand is going to come forward. Take it out to the left. So just the fingertips on the mat at either side. So out to a T. Good. Inhale, reach the heart forward, just like we did in cow shape. Exhale, forward fold. Keep the arms out to the side. You might lower the third eye to the mat. You might use a block here. Good. And inhale, arms come up, body comes up, reach upright. Exhale, palms to heart center, my friends. Let's travel over those feet if you can as we come right into table pose. You could also swing those legs around. I like to add in some fun little fancy transitions, but that doesn't mean this is the day for fancy for you. Always options. When you're ready in your table pose, just start to rotate your hips in beautiful, spacious rotations. I want your breath to match your movement. So if you're moving quickly, you must have short, choppy breath. If you're moving slow, the breath is equally as slow and spacious. Good. Now you could even think of drawing small circles with the heart, getting those wrists involved. And I'm demoing this. It's really not important today to be too rigid in your movement. It's just about moving. When you're ready, change directions if you haven't already. This is still some level of organic movement, body sensing, just listening to what your body needs. What I do know for sure is that we're getting into those hips. We're awakening the wrists, the upper body, and our body is saying thank you. So half circles now. So I'm gonna press the mat away with the palms stacked under my shoulders. And I'm just bringing those hips forward and to the side, and then back to that same path I just created. If you're thinking of it like a rotation, we're just doing the front portion of the circle. So we're bringing the hips from the lower right corner of the mat up to the front to the back left corner, and vice versa. Good. I want you to notice again your tendencies. And what I mean by that is maybe all the weight is in the heels of the hands. Maybe this is a great time to activate the fingertips into the mat. Good. Now take a full rotation in whatever direction, letting the breath cultivate spaciousness, and then change directions, just a few more rotations. Good. And then when you're ready, my friends, come to center. As you inhale, tuck your toes. And if you're ready to join me, let's come into down dog. As you tuck the toes, sit bones high. Exhale the heels down. You could keep your knees bent here, continue to press the mat away, and let's just start to walk our dogs. So bending one knee, you'll send the opposite heel to the mat. If you really have enjoyed so far this gentle theme throughout our class today, feel free to give a gentle shifting of the hips in the direction of the straight leg as you walk your dog. Looking good, everybody. And then when you're ready, let's walk the hands back to the feet. You could bring the block with you if you'd like. I'll demo with a block for a moment. I like to have my block nice and tall. You can let the hands rest on the block, even the head. If you're going into the forward fold that deep, you could also stack your blocks just like you did when you were a child, right? Think Lego blocks, even stacking them to give you some support, whether it's for the hands or whether not at all. So you can even throw that block off to the side if you're not using it. And then whatever you're pressing into, it could be the mat, it could be into your shins, whatever's working for you. I want you to come into Ardha. So halfway, you might even press into the shins to come up halfway to a 90-degree angle. Beautiful. Exhale back to that forward fold. And then right into ragdoll. So opposite hand to opposite elbow. If you can, take your drishti from to the mat and now take it into the space between the knees. And then if it feels good, you're just going to start to add that gentle swaying motion in, breathing in and out of the nose. Knees are bent if you want less stretch in the legs, and legs are straight if you want to go a little deeper. Encouraging the shoulders away from the ears, elbows, crown of the head heavy. Enjoy that stretch. Release the hands, bend through the knees. Let's place the hands to the thighs and slowly rolling up. Now this will be one vertebra at a time. Just a nice gentle movement here. Once your head and neck our stacked spine is safely straight, let's reach for the wall behind us and then just inhale, reach the arms up nice and tall. Breathe into your shoulders. As you exhale, bring those arms back down that same path, back to Tadasana. Palms facing forward here. Inhale, another breath, another reach. Exhale, same path, just extending the energy through the fingertips. Inhale, reach. And exhale all the way back. Now, do you have a wall right behind you? Do you have a closed door that you can stand up against? I'd like you to do so if you have it. If you don't, you can just stay right where you are and imagine. I want you to see if you could bring your heels all the way to where the wall meets the floor, and then the skull all the way to the floor. So this may feel a bit unnatural. Now, Tadasana arms, press the tops of the hands into the wall or into the space that would be your imaginary wall. And then let's inhale, same motion we just did, all the way up with the arms. And then exhale all the way back down. If you're knocking pictures off your wall, we can get it later, right? Inhale, reaching all the way up. This is as close as we'll ever get to yoga snow angels, right? We've heard of that before. We don't have the luxury of moving our legs though. Inhale, reaching all the way back up. And then friends, as you exhale all the way back down, find your Tadasana. And now you can step away from your wall if you have the luxury of the wall. And let's just do 3 more of those so that we feel that same sensation, reaching back. Inhale, reaching up. Now, without the wall, for those of us that have the wall, exhale down. You're going to feel how much additional extension you can get and broadening of that heart space. 2 more. Inhale, reach it up. If it doesn't feel good for your shoulders, exhale down through the nose. That's okay. Remember, we're just exploring our bodies in our yoga practice. Inhale up. This time, exhale, swan dive. That's forward folds all the way down, feet hips distance. Inhale, Ardha, halfway extend, lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, come back to Uttanasana and just walk the hands forward. Come back to your down dog. Good. Now from our down dog, we're going to inhale, take the right heel, reach it high. This time, friends, as you exhale, step it through. Let's come to low lunge. Left knee is going to come down. Right knee is going to stack on top of the heel. If you're using blocks, they'll come right underneath your hands in the front. Otherwise, roll your shoulders down and back. Let's come right back to those Tadasana arms. And just in case, again, if this is your first Anjaneyasana in a while, take that right femur, hug it back into the socket, send that left hip forward, and extend those fingers back, lift your heart. Breathing into that space. Good. Now, as you exhale, left hand right here, we're going to bring it down on the block or on the mat, right under the shoulder. Press the mat away from you, and then reach the right hand high. The drishti is following the right thumb. As you hug your right inner thigh to the midline of your mat, reach for the space behind you. Opening the heart to the sky, just getting a nice stretch here. Beautiful. And then as you exhale, release it down. Frame that right foot, hands to blocks or to your mat. Tuck your left toes. Send that left heel back into a nice runner's lunge. Good. And then press through the palms and just step it back into your down dog. Take a moment if you're walking your dog or just finding stillness in your breath. We're going to do that second side. So on the next inhale, left heel comes high. Keep your hips nice and even. Exhale, step it through. Let's come into that Anjaneyasana. You can keep hands to blocks. Once you feel sturdy, you could also come up, roll those shoulders down and back, and find those Tadasana arms. Same thing we did on that first side. Left femur, hug that femur back in or hug the left hip back. Send that right hip forward, lifting the heart. Now keep the width through those clavicles as you hinge forward. Right hand comes down, press the mat away, lift the left hand high. Hugging that left inner thigh to the midline, open the heart skyward. Reach with your left fingertips, looking to that left thumb. Keeping the prana nice and fluid. Let's exhale. Let's come back to frame your left foot. Send the right toes to a tuck. Send the right heel back. Take a breath here in our runner's lunge. And then step it back once again to down dog. Take a few breaths. Walk your dog. Lower the knees. It's a great time to get hydration if it feels good or appropriate. One more breath wherever you're at in down dog. At the bottom of your exhale, bend the knees, look to your hands, step, walk, or float, feet to palms, my friends. And then same inhale, Ardha, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale to rise. Let's come all the way up. Nice flat back, reach. And then let's exhale, palms to heart center. Beautifully done. And we're going to come into a balancing section. So feel free to use the wall at your side or a chair, especially if it's your first time with balance in a while. We're going to start on our left foot today and bring that right ankle above the left knee. So we're going to come into our nice start to our posture. Good. Now let's just see how that feels. Maybe hands on the wall, maybe palms to heart center. It's completely up to you. Feel free. This is option one to stay here. Otherwise, as you exhale, if you want to go deeper, sitting into Utkatasana variation, just make sure to keep that foot flat. We want to protect our knee joint. Good. And your comfort level, this will be option two to stay here. Option three is going to come even further at the hinge. Elbows may brush gently on the right leg, and then fingertips to mat or fingertips to block or wall. And then straightening the left leg, coming into that forward fold. And remember, this is just an option. It's an invitation. And then we'll meet the rest of you that have stayed in that option number two. Coming upright, option one. And release that right foot down. Feel that in the hips. Give those hips a little shimmy, a little shake, just as we continue to breathe. And I like to think of the breath as the medicine. It gets right into those ever so tight hips for some of us, especially if you're athletic or you're on the move. Let's stand on the left foot. Excuse me, the other foot. If we do the same side again, boy, it will be really strengthening. Let's stand on our right foot, my friends. We're going to bring that left ankle above the right knee. Good. Once again to that figure four. Now you might have shifted to the other wall or staying on that same side. Option one, palms to heart center or hand to wall. As you exhale, coming into Utkatasana variation. Now you might have better balance on one side today. That's okay. This is option two. You'll stay right here. Foot flex to protect the knee. The final option coming into that forward fold. So I'm going to hinge even deeper. And then fingertips to blocks, the wall or the mat, eventually straightening that right leg into the forward fold, breathing. Keep the breath flowing, coming back, meeting those in Utkatasana variation. And then big finish as we come up. Inhale straight, that right leg. Release the left leg down, shake it out. See how it's feeling. And let's come back to those hip rotations. Always giving the body exactly what it's asking for. And for you right now, it might just be watching. It might just be getting a sip of water, anything that feels good. Swing the hips side to side and really just giving yourself time to explore. In this time of transition, as we are transitioning from summer to fall and eventually fall to winter, we know that darkness takes over a majority of the 24-hour period that we call a day and an evening. So you want to make sure you're giving yourself that gentleness that the body needs. Now you might want to grab a block. We're coming into our yogi squat, and that's going to be malasana. And I always encourage you to use the block right underneath your sit bones as we broaden our feet wide, especially if this is your first time or just getting back into the swing of things. There's no need to impress anyone. You could even use a chair like that we use for chair yoga. Feel free as well. Palms are going to be at heart center. Make sure, again, you just look down. That block is safely underneath your sit bones. Inhale tall. Exhale, maybe just a sumo squat. Otherwise, maybe all the way down to the block. And be confident here as you get there. The block will hold you. If it doesn't feel steady, that's not the foundation we want. As you take another inhale, that final option to join the elbows into the inner thighs. And when we do this, what I'd like you to do is encourage that gentle opening. Just like I'm showing you, it's a very slight movement. You could even press your palms together more and excitedly, if you will. Walk your elbows in just a bit and press those outer knees back without the block, friends. It's going to look like this. Same thing. Melt those sit bones, reach through the crown. Take one more breath wherever you're at. Good. All the way up with a flat back, best you can. And release. You could place that block off to the side. And once again, Really getting into the hips, really rotating. Now we're gonna do a quad stretch next. So yes, it's balancing. And you might want to even lie on your belly. We've done it before. That can strengthen the back body, but I'm gonna stay standing for this in the balancing section. So you can bring your right hand to the wall. We're gonna start with our left leg. We're gonna catch with our left hand the pinky toe side or the outer arch. Once you get that together, exhale, knees together. And now I want you to kick into that left hand. And now I want you to take that hip point on the left side and send it up toward the ribs. And as you kick into that left hand, you're going to feel a beautiful active quad stretch. Right hand could be to the hip. It could also be on the wall for support. Give me one more breath here. Good. As you exhale, my friends, now watch this. We're going to release the foot, bring the knee up forward to hip height. Take that inhale, take your exhale, take it out, still 90 degrees, and place it down. Just getting into those hips a little bit more. We're going to do the same thing on the second side. So we're standing on the left foot. You can use the same wall or just turn around at the wall. Right hand is going to catch the pinky toe side. Bring your knees together when you're ready on that exhale. Inhale, kick into the right hand. Continue to squeeze those inner thighs together. Take the hip points and reach them up toward the ribs. That's going to give you that little extra stretch. Looks really great. Imagine a dollar bill we're holding between the knees. We're working hard. Good. Nice adjustments. And then exhale. We're going to release the foot. We're going to bring the knee forward and hip height. We're going to exhale it out, 90-degree angle, and release it down, all using the leg muscles. We didn't even use our arms to assist. Really nicely done. Take a moment here as you step back onto that right foot. Draw a big circle for me with your left knee. And then you could bring that left foot down. And again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Same side. Now you might not even place the toe on the ground. Thinking of this as adding in that WD-40 for the hinge known as our hip. Give me one more. Release that left foot down. Let's go into the second side. Inhale, bringing the leg up, exhaling it down. Inhaling it up, exhaling it down. And again. Good, a larger circle. Now these last few, I want you to think of standing tall. I want you to think of it as a crunch for the abdominals. And I want you to use just the leg muscle. You'll feel those navels drawing into the spine. Last one. And release. Shake it out. Really nicely done. Just getting in and clearing out those cobwebs, my friends. Ready for our last balancing posture? I know I am. We're going to start once again on the right foot, and we're coming into dancer pose, Nata Virasana. If dancer pose isn't feeling good for you today, go right back to the quad stretch that we just did. The difference now, you could use the wall, it could be in front of you, or start with the wall over to your right side. As you stand on that right foot, you're gonna have that left hand free, and we're gonna catch it. If you're doing dancer, catch it on the inside or the big toe arch side, inner arch. Bring your knees together. On your next inhale, friends, you're gonna kick into that left hand, and you're gonna reach with a mudra on the right side if that right arm is free. You could have the wall right next to you, and you don't need to make it perfect. We're not looking for perfection, as always in our yoga practice, just progress. One more breath. Beautiful. Bring those knees together. Good posture. Release that left foot down. Heart rate, if it's like mine, if yours is like mine, it's up there. And we're going to that second and final side. When you feel ready, my friends, stepping on the left foot, catching the inside or the big toe side of that right foot. Bringing your knees together when you feel ready and not a moment sooner. Kick into the right hand. Take that left hand to the wall or reaching with a mudra. So really two important actions during Nata Virasana, and that is kicking and reaching. Breathing here, looking so strong. And then exhale, knees together. Release it down, blocks aside. Let's come into our vinyasa. So we're going to come to the front and center of our mat. Do what you can, modify as needed. We're gonna inhale, circle those arms up nice and tall. Exhale, coming into the forward fold, knees bent or straight legs. Inhale, Ardha, halfway extend. Wonderful. Plant your palms, gently find your plank pose. Take a full breath here in plank. Now you have the option to exhale right to down dog or lower the knees or not. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra shape. Exhale, back to Adho Mukha. Wonderful. Bring your feet in a little closer to the hands. And now walk your feet the width of the mat. So your hands and feet are going to be about 2 to 3 feet apart for our varied down dog variation. Arms are going to stay shoulder width. Feet, once again, are the width of the mat. On your next inhale, take your right hand, reach it to the outer left shin or ankle. Now as you twist, start to look to the ceiling as you go underneath that left arm. With your left palm, press the mat away as you continue to find your twist. You'll feel this through the outer left side body, the leg, the IT band, all those hard to get reaches. Good. Exhale back to center. And then on your next inhale, draw the belly in, free your left hand and connect it to the outer right shin or the outer right ankle. Same idea. You hollow out the belly, pressing the mat away, looking to the ceiling underneath that right arm, twisting a little deeper. And then exhale back to center. Good. And then walk the feet back to hips width. And then extend those feet a little further from the hands. Take a big inhale, come high onto the balls of the feet, heels floating. And then exhale, heels down. Lower the knees to the mat, my friends. And let's come into child's pose. You can grab that block again. Place the block underneath the third eye if you desire, or just third eye to the mat. Arms can stay extended, or you could draw the elbows back toward the body. Just coming back to this present moment. Just remembering that sensation of connection when we took the mudra at the beginning of class, just joining the fingers, joining the two hemispheres of the body, just like we are right now, joining ourselves with Mother Earth, gaining wisdom, gaining support and strength. Let's take a brief body scan and noticing how you feel. Noticing your breath, the quality of the breath, temperature. And then blinking your eyes to open. Making sure you feel nice and centered. And then gently pressing up. As we come high up onto the knees, as we prepare for Ustrasana, camel pose. So coming up high onto the knees. Now, if you already know ahead of time you'll want to use blocks, go ahead and grab the blocks. And you're going to place a block in between each ankle. You might use only one, that's okay too. And if you use the block, I like to demonstrate rather than just supposing you know. Knees are going to be hips width. The block is going to be set up nice and tall. I'm just going to place it in between my feet, right in straight line with the ankles. Now you might use it today, you might not, that's okay. What I want you to do first is spread your fingers wide, take up space with the hands, and now place them on your low back for support. Good. Squeeze your elbows together, relax the shoulders, lift your heart. Now, do you already start to feel not only a broadening, but a lengthening sensation through the front body? Good, that's what we want. As you continue to lift the heart, send your hips forward. Think about keeping the hips stacked above the knees. Continue to lift the heart, we're breathing. Send the hips forward, 2 actions, lifting and shifting those hips forward. One more breath here. Good, slowly come all the way back to upright. You'll even feel a beautiful stretch through the forearms, through the wrists. You can repeat what we just did, or we're gonna go a little deeper. Gonna be using that block in just a moment. Tuck your toes underneath. Send your heels to the wall behind you. And we're gonna start with our hands right where they were that first variation. You could also repeat that first variation. Now you're gonna press through the toes, shift your hips forward to stay stacked above the knees. Lifting the heart, squeeze those shoulder blades together, lift the heart, breathing, shifting those hips forward. Good. Now, if it feels appropriate, you could stay right here, or when you get to your edge, you might want to reach one hand down to the heel or to your block. Maybe both. Maybe today's the day for just one. I want you to explore here. Shifting those hips forward. Now press through the toes, slowly coming back up, and eventually palms to heart center. Take your time. Give that pelvis a wiggle if it feels like it could use some resetting and neutralizing. And now, friends, to go to our deepest option, untuck the toes where we started. Hands are going to start either here for support or advanced variation. Palms can start here at heart center. Inhale, shift those hips forward. Now we're pressing through the tops of the feet, lifting the heart. Hands on the back or at heart center. Once you feel that maximum stretch, soften as you breathe into it. Shift your hips forward, lift your heart. One hand to the block or heel, other hand to the block or heel. Take a deep breath here. And then press through the tops of the feet, slowly stacking the vertebra one at a time. Palms to Anjali Mudra. You can sit back either on the block or you could remove the block. And then once again, come right back into our child's pose. I like to bring my big toes to touch, knees far apart. And this is a great neutralizing posture to do right after Ustrasana. It's funny how back bends, we often think of the back body in that family of postures, but it's really about stretching the front body. If you couldn't tell, I'm sure you could. Take a deep breath here with me. Deep breath out. And then walk the hands back toward the body, block aside. And my favorite part, when the teacher says, bring your legs around and come on to your back. If you have ever taken a yoga class with me, you know what I'm about to say. It makes me smile each and every time. You've almost made it. What a way to celebrate, right? So as you come onto your back, my friends, we're going to take the feet the width of the mat again. Keep your knees bent. Keep the feet firmly planted on the yoga mat. And now flex your feet. So just the heels are on the mat. Feet again, width of the mat. Arms can just be at your sides to rest. As you take an inhale and an exhale through the nose, I want you to go ahead and just start to shift your knees from side to side. I often say windshield wipering the knees because it just looks and feels that way. And then take your time here. There's no pace that I'm requesting. And I just want you to feel and experience any remaining tightness or resistance in the pelvic region, the outer hips, the hip flexors, the low back, and just breathe into that space. Good. Now, as you inhale, bring the knees across center over to the right side, and then just keep the legs in that posture. And now really take that left inner thigh and press it toward the earth. Now, if that right ankle, it's possible, bring it up into the outer left thigh. And now relax the right leg. Let the weight of the leg encourage a deeper stretch through the outer left side body, hip, and oblique. Take another breath here. And then unravel the legs. Come back to center. Windshield wiper the knees side to side again. This will help us neutralize the spine. And then when you are ready on your next out breath, exhale the legs over to the left side. Feet are still wide once again. the width of the mat. Press that right inner thigh toward the earth. You'll feel that activation. And then take your left ankle to the outside of that right thigh, pressing into the outer right thigh. Now relax the left hip. Let the weight of gravity and the weight of the leg. You'll feel a deep stretch through the right oblique and side waist. Breathe into that posture. Good. And then exhale as you unravel. Windshield wiper once again, side to side. And then bring your feet about hips distance. And we're going to inhale, cross the right ankle above the left knee. Come into that figure four. We did this standing earlier. Right hand is going to connect to the inner right thigh, or you can clasp the palms behind your left leg, where the right elbow will connect to the inner right thigh, and just continue to help open up the hips, the glutes, and keep your right foot flexed, friends. That's going to protect your knee. You have the option here to extend the left heel to the sky. You can straighten that leg if you want to stretch the left hamstring, or just keep it bent. And then eventually swaying side to side. Same massage sensation for the low back, like we did at the start of our practice. And then as you find your next out breath, release the shape of the legs. And then when you feel ready, let's come into that figure four on the second side. So left ankle above the right knee, flex the foot, left palm to the inner thigh, or connect the palms behind your right leg and your left elbow to the inner thigh. You'll see my foot is flexed. I'm going to be playful here. That's what my body is calling for. So some of the time as I sway side to side, I'm going to keep my right leg extended. And then other times, I'm going to bend it, just giving me a little bit more control to focus on that left hip as we continue to open it up. Good. And then exhale, unravel. One more windshield wipering of the knees side to side. Breathe deeply here, letting the Ujjayi breath continue to create a cleansing, a nourishing of the body. And then extend your right leg long. Bring that left knee into the chest, and then come right into half happy baby. So this will go a little deeper than our traditional happy baby. If this doesn't work for you, feel free to do traditional happy baby. I'm going to hold the arch of the left foot, the ankle, or the shin, letting that left knee come a little closer to the earth with each passing breath. My right hand can press firmly into the right quad. You could also bend that right knee, pressing the foot in if you want a little less of that stretch. Good. And then after some time, you'll extend that left leg long. Bring the other knee into the chest, half happy baby. Please be mindful, you don't have to hold the foot. If it's too intense, you could always hold the shin or your ankle. Left hand firmly pressing into the quad of the extended left leg, or resting as that left foot. I'm demoing both. I'd love to show you all the options, keeping your heart space broad and really getting into that right hip. And then extend that right leg long as we come into a well-deserved stretch. Inhale the arms overhead, point your toes. As we come into our final asana of practice before Shavasana, bring the knees to the chest and just drift the legs over to the right side. You come into a twist, left arm can cactus or reach away. If you want to go a little deeper, my friends, cross the left leg over the right leg once or twice and drift the legs over to the side of your space, just finding that place yet again of surrender. For some, the most challenging part of the yoga practice is the surrender. So be kind to yourself. Release yourself of expectations. And just really softening in to right now, into the life force, the pranayama. And then as you slowly unravel the legs or just drift them from right over to the left, if you're just drifting over, that right leg will stack. Otherwise, cross the right leg over the left leg once or twice. Same benefits, just options to go deeper. We don't need to go deeper for our body every day. Just a nice, gentle opening for the hips, for the body. Freeing our low back of pain, freeing the low body of negative sensations, and freeing the mind of anything that may be weighing you down today. Hear the rhythm of your breath. Feel the rise and fall of the chest. And as you exhale and as you come out of your twist, exhale all the air from the body, bring the knees into the chest. And with your longest intentional breath of class, bring the nose to the knees, hug the legs in, pausing at the top of your inhalation. And with a deep sigh, extend your limbs long, taking up space on your mat as you come into a final relaxation, Shavasana. Natural breath returns, relaxing the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And just noticing how you're feeling. Inviting a longer breath in. Be okay with not knowing what will come next. Just know that whatever it is, you will be okay. As you take a longer breath in, scan the body once again, just noticing changes and observing the benefits of the practice. Inviting some small movements back to the body. Toes, the fingers, the jaw. And then inhale and reaching the arms overhead. Find a length in the body, creating space. And as you exhale, draw the knees into the chest one last time, swaying back and forth as you hug the knees in. And then rolling to one side, take a moment. Arm can be a pillow. And when you feel ready, friends, gently pressing up to seated. And as you bring your palms to heart center, taking a deep breath in. And as you release, I wish you a sense of rest and ease throughout your day. And until we meet again on Thursday for yoga and meditation. Thanks, my friends. Thanks for letting me guide. Aloha and namaste. Hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. And this last week of September, we'll make the most of it, friends. See you again soon. Aloha.